Hi, it's Morag from Our Permaculture Life. If you live in a warmish type of environment, growing turmeric is just such an easy thing to do. It's end of winter at the moment and all of my turmeric is ready to harvest. It grows, I plant it when it's just starting to warm up and it grows all through the wet and warm season, and then as winter comes the leaves on the top die back, and then once they're fully dead on the top, it's time to dig them up. And I have them scattered around my garden, under fruit trees, around the edges of vegetable gardens, all throughout the food forest, and they're just everywhere. So I always harvest some, store it so it lasts all the way through the year, and then leave some in the ground so that when it warms up, it comes back again. And like I said, it's just such an easy plant to grow and it's really abundant. And having a good source of turmeric at your fingertips is absolutely fantastic. To go and buy organic, fresh turmeric can get really expensive. And as you know, eating turmeric on a regular basis helps to build your immune system. It helps to keep you you're healthy and well. It helps to fight diseases. And so I recommend as much as possible to have raw turmeric. In my research I found that by having it raw you get at least 75% more value out of it as opposed to using the dry powdered form. So while I could dig it up and dry it and grind it and keep it dry, what I do is actually keep it fresh, and I'll show you too how you can keep it fresh throughout the year, so you've always got a store of it. But firstly, I wanted to show you how to actually harvest it out of the ground. So I have one here that's died back, and you can kind of see here, this is the signal that it's ready to go, because these were once beautiful green, luscious looking turmeric leaves and gorgeous white and yellow flowers. It always makes a really, really lovely kind of undergrowth. So at the end of winter, most of the things gone. You can see behind me the lemongrass was dying back, so I've chopped that back, and lots of chopping and dropping going on at the moment. Above me here, this one here is planted underneath the Buddha's hand. I'll see if I can find you one of the amazing Buddha's hand fruits. This one here is just a little one. I use this for all different sorts of things, for zesting into salads and teas. You can actually make lozenges and it helps with sore throats and things. It's an amazing looking plant. It's interesting because I find when they have really tight little segments like this, it means that it's dry, and when they start to open up, it means it's had a bit more water. These are an ancient citrus, originally from Persia, I believe. There's no juice inside these, it's just the pith that you use. Anyway, this is where my current turmeric is that we're going to dig up, and underneath here, I'll just pull it back. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my fork in and gently prise it out. So I'll just dig it underneath here. And I don't want to disturb the roots of the citrus too much. I'll see what I can find underneath here. Whoa, look at that. Lovely. This is quite an amazing amount of turmeric on here. One time I must have left it for a couple of years and we discovered it, and it was 5 kilos of turmeric. Oh, that's got a root sticking through there. Now, so look at this. It's a whole series of hands of turmeric just underground. I'll get my hose and wash this off and show you what it looks like. Wow, beautiful colour, isn't it? Let's turn that over. So that's not bad for a dry year. I wouldn't expect too much more if it was in a dry spot in your garden. If you have a nice moist year, and you irrigate your garden, you're probably going to get a lot more than this, but this is a beautiful amount here. Now you can see it just all comes apart. See, all the roots are just all tangled up. It's almost like they're kind of holding hands underneath, these little hands of turmeric, and you can just gently prise them apart. Now what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to wash off the soil, and I'm actually just going to leave them outside so that the skin here sort of hardens a little bit for a day or two, and after that's hardened I can then store them in a bucket of sand. So a simple bucket of playground sand is the best way to store your turmeric. If you put this in the freezer, it'll end up going mushy. If you store it in the fridge, it goes a bit mouldy. If you just put it on the shelf, it kind of dehydrates. So if you want it to stay plump and nice like this and fresh for use, all you need to do is grab a bucket of sand and then just bury them in like this. But I will be doing, so you just cover them over with sand and leave it. And when you want some in the kitchen, you just go out to your bucket of sand, grab one, wash it off, and that's all you need to do. And it's such a simple way to store all these sorts of root crops, from yacon to potatoes to carrots to turmeric and ginger, all those sorts of things. But like I said first, I really want to make sure that the skin has just hardened up a bit. So I'll be leaving these out. I'll wash the dirt off and then I'll just leave them out to dry off. And it'll lose that lovely orangey colour and go kind of brown looking. Like I said, just a day or two is all you need. Now, the thing, in order to plant these again, can you see on here where it's almost starting to sprout here? Now that is going to become a new plant. So if I just took that off and I planted that in the ground, when it's warm enough, this is going to shoot up and become a new turmeric plant, and it will throw roots out of the base here. And so when you pull a section off like this, one of the little fingers, you just kind of work out which way you think looks best. Like it could even go that way. It looks from here, there's going to be a shoot coming up. So I would go around, dig little holes in the soil, and I'll show you how I'll do that. And we'll just leave a couple in here so that next season I will have more. So I'm just going to put one down in there. I'll move it across over here. I'll put another one in there. Put some mulch over the top and just forget about it. And then when the rains come and when the temperature heats up to the right warmth, they'll just start to come up again, and I'll discover all these wonderful turmerics everywhere. And I'll also discover where I might have actually missed a patch from digging them up, because there'll be a great big bunch of shoots coming up. So I'm going to go on a bit of a turmeric hunt and dig up the rest and fill up my bucket with all these beautiful roots, so then I can have turmeric for the rest of the year until the next lot is ready to harvest. Now, while the stems are still green, you can burrow around underneath and grab a few of the immature roots. That's okay, but you don't want to do too much, otherwise you'll damage the plant. But if you do run out and you're looking for some, the secret is that once the plant flowers, you know that the roots are starting to form underneath. So don't bother sort of trying to dig around if you haven't seen the plant flower yet. It's not going to be setting its roots underneath, its rhizomes underneath. So I hope that's been helpful. Turmeric, like I said, is a really simple plant to grow. It's a matter, if you don't have a piece in your garden already, simply go into an organic food store, buy a piece of fresh turmeric and put it in the ground when it warms up. And then you'll have turmeric for the rest of your life. So thanks for watching. It's Morag Gamble, Our Permaculture Life. Don't forget to subscribe.